Hello, and welcome back to another video with me, Michelle Fortier, a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Florida. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my way of viewing human beings and human behavior, and I'm going to do that by using the example of a marching band. You may say, Michelle, what does a marching band have to do with human behavior? Well, let me tell you. I firmly believe that human beings are meant to be unique and special and all fulfill a role in this world, like the different instruments do in a marching band. If we all played the same instrument, it would be a very boring band, and the music, to me, would kind of suck. We need the drum players, we need the saxophone, we need the clarinets, we need the flutes, we need the triangle, and sometimes a kazoo might come in handy. The cymbals fulfill a role in the marching band. Now, as a mental health provider, I perceive that it is my job to help people understand and appreciate their particular instrument that they play in this marching band of life. Oftentimes, I meet with individuals that think they shouldn't play the clarinet, that the clarinet is a bad instrument, and they should really be playing the tuba. I help them to appreciate and understand that we need different instruments, that their instrument is just as important as anybody else's, and that they perform a vital role in this marching band of life. So my job as a mental health provider is to help people play their instruments to the best of their ability. The problems come in when people don't appreciate their instrument, or they can't follow the sheet of music, or can't read the notes, or they start walking in the wrong direction of the rest of the marching band, or they don't want to play in the part of the band that their instrument is the most effective in. That, to me, is where mental health treatment comes in. I'll have a client that they accept that they play the flute, but they want to stand next to the drums, and then they get upset that the drums are drowning them out. My job is to help them develop flexibility and understanding that the drums will sometimes drown them out. That's radical acceptance that sometimes some personalities, they might not need to stand next to each other if one doesn't want to get drowned out. Because drums are loud and flutes can be soft. So if you want to be heard, you might need to go by the other quieter instruments and play your instrument a little bit louder. You can ask the drum to quiet down a little bit, and at the same time, there can't be an expectation that the drum is going to change simply because you want your flute to be heard. It makes more logical sense to accept the fact that drums are loud and to move to an area where you can feel more comfortable being a flute. There's also where we need to learn flexibility and play along with the music instead of demanding that the music be the way we would like it to be. Good musicians understand that sometimes they need to play quietly. I do believe on the music sheet that it is a PP up in the corner, and then sometimes they need to play their instrument extremely loud. That too is written on the music. The job of mental health treatment, and especially in the treatment of personality disorders, is to help people learn how to play their instrument effectively, how to read the music so that way their instrument is the most effective it can be. We need to learn flexibility, that if our bandmate loses a reed or drops the cymbal, that we can flexibly stand in if needed and assess if our instrument is able to cover the part, or if we just need to quickly help with picking up the cymbal and getting them a new reed. We need to learn when the music tells us to pause. We need to know when the music tells us to get loud. We need to know when the music tells us that it is time to be quiet. We need to be able to figure out how best to play the instrument that we have been given instead of thinking that we have the wrong instrument or that our instrument isn't good enough or isn't right. This is in particular why I really like the alternative model for personality disorders instead of the categorical. The way that we're now approaching personality is that all of us have a personality. And sometimes that being inflexible, not playing from the sheet of music, not knowing how to play our instrument effectively is what we can consider a personality disorder. My job as the therapist is to help people with their instrument. I hope all that made sense. It's the best way that I can describe human behavior and the complexity of personality and how we interact with this world. and the richness that is our social world. If you like this video and found it helpful, it would help this channel a lot if you would like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. Take care and see you in the next video.